Hi, this is Stir. This guide will cover the basics of combat, how experience games are calculated, as well as some tips and tricks to level as fast as possible. Let's get started. In melee combat, by default, your character will continue fighting until you or your enemy dies. However, you can exit combat once 3 rounds have passed, either by using a keybind on PC or an on-screen button on mobile. You can also do the same just by moving away with arrow keys, but sometimes this is subject to lag. You can also go into the settings and turn on the auto run feature, which automatically runs from mobs for you after 3 rounds. You regenerate 1 health per minute passively while online, but generally speaking, you need to eat food to heal. You can't eat during a fight, so you first have to run away. You can also set up a keybind or on-screen button to eat food to make it easier and not have to have your inventory open while fighting. This is also why it isn't recommended to fight mobs which can kill you in 3 hits, as you won't be able to eat food and heal while you are locked in combat. Speaking of that, there's a great tool in-game called Combat Analysis. You can use it by simply right-clicking on a mob and clicking Combat Analysis. This will print really useful information into chat for you, including you and the enemy's average damage per turn, how much damage you'll take on average over the course of the fight, as well as if there's any chance of you dying within 3 hits. Be warned though, that for the chance to die in 3 hits calculation, enemy magic damage isn't factored in, so take extra care when fighting magic casters. You can use combat analysis through the wiki too by right-clicking on the picture of the mob, so you can see how you would fare versus an enemy without travelling to them. With the mechanics out of the way, let's go over how experience is gained. You gain 3 XP per damage dealt, and the skills this XP is earned in depend on the stance you're in, which you can change in the options menu. Aggressive, defensive, and accurate give 2 experience to the main skill, strength, defense, and accuracy respectively, and 1 experience to health. Controlled gives 1 experience to health too, but the 2 XP is split between strength, defense, and accuracy evenly. The final combat stance, Cordial, gives less XP overall. Per damage dealt, you'll get 2 XP to health and that's it. That was a lot of information, but here's the important bit, what you can do to maximize your experience gains. Firstly, on non-multi-combat enabled mobs, you can use a trick called double hitting. This is where you run away from combat and then immediately start the fight again, getting a bonus hit on the enemy. This works well with auto run, but even better with a keybind, as you can actually run after 3 hits from you and 2 from the enemy, as long as you initiated the combat. In addition, make sure to only fight mobs you have a 100% hit rate on. Missing an attack means losing a lot of damage, and in turn, melee experience. Finally, avoid fighting enemies with melee block. This reduces your damage by a fixed percentage, so not only will you do less damage, but your experience gains will be reduced by that amount too. Some mobs are multi-combat enabled, which means that double hitting doesn't work on them, but what else does this mean? Firstly, unless you have multi-combat block on in the settings, multiple players can fight the same mob at the same time. But who gets the loot? That's determined by the loot chance, which is the percentage of damage you dealt, plus 5. All bosses are multi-combat enabled, as well as party quest enemies, endgame maps, and enemies in Cathedral and Towers. That's all the important information you need to know about melee combat. In the next videos, I plan to cover the mechanics of magic and archery. If you think I've missed anything important, let me know and I'll add it in a pinned comment. Consider subscribing to be notified when future videos release, and like and share if you found this guide useful. Cheers for watching, peace out.